Dusk fell over the granite expanses of Bodmin Moor as Emma Calloway stepped out of her Land Rover. A soft, eerie mist clung to the ancient stones and heather. She had come to Cornwall, chasing a tale of a mysterious big cat-like creature whispered about in hushed tones by local farmers and travellers alike. Rumours spoke of a beast that prowled the moor, its glowing eyes and silent paws inspiring both dread and wonder. Emma, a freelance journalist, had a talent for uncovering the truth behind legends. Although many dismissed the Beast of Bodmin Moor as mere folklore, Emma's gut told her there was more to it. In her notebook, the evidence hinted at something unknown that still roamed these wild lands. The moor was a blend of timeless beauty and haunting desolation. As Emma trekked along a narrow path, the silence was broken only by the distant cry of a raven. She recalled the stories. A local farmer had once described a creature with a tail as long as a man's arm, eyes of white-yellow luminescence, and a gait that belied the size of a predator. Some said it was as stealthy as a ghost. Others claimed it was a living nightmare prowling in the gloom. At the edge of a shallow stream, Emma discovered a set of unusually large paw prints. They were too deep and too wide to belong to any ordinary domestic cat or dog. Kneeling, she carefully measured and sketched the prints in her notebook. They seemed to vanish into a copse of gnarled trees where the fog thickened. That evening, Emma joined a small group of locals in the weathered pub of a nearby village. The pub's walls vibrated with the low murmur of conversation. Over pints of bitter ale, an elderly farmer named Arthur recounted his own encounter. "I was tending my flock one night. The moon was high and the moor was ablaze in silver light," he began, with a mix of fear and excitement. "I saw something large, moving with the grace of a cat. But it wasn't any cat I'd ever seen. It had eyes that glowed, and a presence that chilled me to the bone. I thought it might be a ghost at first, but then I realized it was very much alive." Arthur's story was echoed by others. An ex-zookeeper who claimed that a pair of pumas had once escaped confinement. A local schoolboy who swore he had found a skull near the River Furwy, its teeth sharp and glistening, suggesting a beast far more dangerous than any pet. Each account was a thread woven with suspicion, myth, and the lasting human fascination with the unknown. In the morning, Emma set out on a solitary hike into the deeper reaches of Bodmin Moor. The landscape shifted from open heatherfields to dense thickets and rocky outcrops. The chill of early autumn seeped into her bones, but her resolve burned warmer than the afternoon sun breaking through the clouds. Wandering deeper, the air grew thick with the scent of wet earth and decaying vegetation. Every crunch of gravel felt amplified in the stillness. Emma couldn't shake the sensation of being watched. Branches rustled overhead, and every so often, she thought she caught a glimpse of movement, a flash of dark fur or a pair of eyes reflecting in the undergrowth. Later, as she neared a crumbling stone circle, Emma heard a low, almost inaudible growl. Not the sound of any domestic animal. It was deeper, resonating through the silence like a warning. Heart pounding, she peered into the gloom of a nearby copse. For a moment, she saw a pair of luminous eyes and a dark shape moved swiftly among the trees. Frozen by a mix of terror and awe, Emma fumbled for her camera. She managed to snap a few blurred photos. The creature seemed to blend perfectly with the darkness, its outline melting into the night. The memory of those glowing eyes was etched into her mind forever. That night, on the moor's fringe, Emma reviewed her photographs and notes. The images were inconclusive, fuzzy, almost ghost-like, But they confirmed one thing. Something was out there. She had read in a faded article that many sightings had been dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications. But how could a creature so unlike any domestic animal be merely a figment of collective imagination? Her thoughts drifted to the legend of Mary Chipperfield, a circus trainer rumored to have released a pair of pumas into the wild when her zoo faced financial ruin in the late 1970s. Some locals believe that these exotic cats had adapted to the rugged environment, forming a secretive population on the moor. Others argued that the beast was a supernatural entity, a ghost of Cornwall's tumultuous past. Its presence a reminder of ancient rituals and forgotten deities. Late that night, rain began to patter on the roof. Emma's mind raced with possibilities. Her next step was to follow up with a local naturalist, a retired ranger named Michael, who had spent decades patrolling Bodmin Moor. Michael had seen more than his fair share of strange occurrences and hoped he could offer a rational explanation, or at least a deeper insight. In the morning, Emma met Michael at a small tea shop in a nearby village. Michael was a wiry man with silver hair and a voice as weathered as the moor itself. Over cups of steaming tea, he recounted his years on the moor, punctuated by mysterious incidents and unexplained tracks. "Many years ago," Michael said, leaning in conspiratorially, "I once tracked a set of prints that no one could explain. They were too large, too deliberate. I followed them to a clearing near a ruined chapel. When I got there, all I found was a silence that spoke louder than any roar. I sometimes wonder if the moor keeps its secrets well." Michael confessed that he too had once caught a glimpse of something that defied explanation. "I was out late, and I heard a sound, a deep, resonant growl that wasn't from any animal I knew. I saw something moving among the boulders, too big to be a fox, too stealthy to be a dog. I never did get a clear look, but I felt it. The moor has a way of showing you its soul, even if you don't understand it." Inspired by Michael's words and bolstered by his first-hand account, Emma knew that her investigation was a journey into the heart of Cornwall's living legend. She planned to spend several more days on the moor, documenting every unusual sign and speaking with anyone who might have witnessed the creature. On her final night, the wind howled and the moor was shrouded in a dense, impenetrable fog. Emma set up her camera near an ancient stone circle. She hoped that she might catch a glimpse of the elusive beast. In a tense vigil, the rhythmic pulse of her heartbeat filled the silence as the mist danced and the ancient stones seemed to murmur secrets of centuries past. As exhaustion crept in, a sudden rustling shattered the quiet. Emma's breath caught in her throat. Out of the swirling fog was a large, dark silhouette, moving with a fluid grace that defied the clumsy gait of most predators. The creature paused at the edge of the clearing. In that moment, the beams of her camera light danced over its form, and Emma's eyes locked onto a pair of eyes that burned with an otherworldly intensity. Time slowed. The creature's gaze seemed to peer directly into Emma's soul. It exuded an air of ancient wisdom and wildness, a remnant of a bygone era, perhaps, or a being born of the moor's own mystique. They stared at each other. Then with a low, almost growl, the beast turned and vanished into the darkness. Emma's hands shook as she reviewed the images on her camera. The pictures were not crystal clear, but they bore undeniable marks of something extraordinary. The blurred form, the luminous eyes, elements that echoed the local lore. The moor had revealed one of its most closely guarded secrets, long enough for her to capture a fragment of its essence. In the days that followed, Emma's story spread throughout the region. Skeptics dismissed her account as a trick of the light, or a case of overactive imagination. Locals saw her evidence as confirmation of what they had long suspected. The tale of the Beast of Bodmin Moor was once again a topic of lively debate in pubs, on farms, and around dinner tables. Emma's encounter added another chapter to the enduring legend that had evolved over decades from whispered rumors into a modern myth that captured the imagination of an entire community. Finally, she wrote not just about a creature, but about the landscape itself, where folklore and reality merged into something both beautiful and terrifying. Emma reflected on the nature of this legend. Perhaps the true beast of Bodmin Moor is not just the animal we seek, but the collective memory of a people, the embodiment of our fears and hopes, and the wild spirit that refuses to be tamed. Whether it is an escaped exotic pet, a relic of ancient magic, or simply the product of our own longing for mystery, the moor remains a place where legends live on.